This is my second video regarding 3G RRC. Here we will clarify downlink issue during RRC connection and some optimization cases. As I already explained on previous video, here general view of RRC flow. So just I want to remind, from UV side, UV may generate 4 times RRC connection based on retransmission number N300 interval 2000 millisecond. Each RRC has 2 RRC connections set up based on timer T381 and retransmission number N381. Here, typical case for RRC connection setup: failure due to downlink issue. As we see here, we have 4 RRC connections from UV side, and each RRC connection has 2 RRC connections set up from RMC side. Due to poor RF, ECINO is very poor here. UV RRC connection setup message didn't reach to UV. Finally, after consuming all the retransmission number from UV side and RNC side, RNC didn't receive RRC connection complete message. Finally, RNC sends radio link request to node B, and this RRC will count as failure. In order to solve downlink issue, we have a set of optimization proposal, like so neighbor optimization, overshooting, so then some parameter. So now we will consider parameter increasing MaxFachPower. MaxFachPower, while sending RRC setup message, we use fetch channel, so we have a chance to improve downlink command channel coverage. For example, if we have speech power of one cell 30 dBm, it means 1 watt. By default, max fetch power is 10. That means combining speech power and fetch transmit power, it means 31 dBm. It means 1.26 watt. If you increase from 10 to 20, our fetch transmit power will be 32 dBm. It means 1.58 watt. From the increasing 10 to 20, our common channel will consume 0.32 watt more power. Impact of this parameter: if we set excessively low, UV as a cell edge may fail to receive the service, and signaling carried over the fetch may fail. If max fetch power is set excessively high, other channel will be interfered and more downlink power resource will be occupied. This will consequently impact the cell capacity. This is our optimization result in some group of worse cells. As we see here, enough good improvements. Also, failure number also reduced. Another alternative is access timers T381 and retransmission number N381. So we may suggest to change T381 from 600 to 400 and retransmission number 381 from 1 to 4. So why we are proposing this value? Because between each RRC request we have timer T300, which equal to 2000 milliseconds. This value is fixed till the expiring T300 from first RRC request. RNC now able to send 5 RRC setup with interval 400 milliseconds. So here I want to demonstrate one flow. So UV sends RRC request, RNC replies with RRC setup. message to UE. So if we have downlink issue, our RRC setup message couldn't reach to UE, and UE couldn't reply with RRC setup complete message. So RRC now able to send RRC setup message 5 times with the interval 400 milliseconds. It means during first and second RRC request, we able to send 5 times RRC setup message with interval 400 milliseconds. So here we can see after changing the some verse cell group, we have enough good improvement, and RRC failure number also reduced. This is how we improved our RRC connection setup success rate on the cell which had a downlink issue. Let's consider the RRC failure due to uplink issue. Here simple flow of RRC failure while RRC sends 2 times RRC setup connection. So first RRC receives RRC connection request, then replies with RRC connection setup. It didn't reach UE and sends second RRC connection setup, and it has reached UE, and UE replies with RRC connection setup complete message. So because of uplink issue, RRC connection setup didn't reach RRC after expiring UE response timer. This RRC counts as failure. If the uplink has an issue, UE can receive RRC connection setup as we see in the flow, but RNC cannot receive RRC connection setup complete message. So here we see typical case from the trace while we had an issue in uplinks, and we see we have different number of RRC connection setup message. So as early UE receives RRC setup, as number of RRC setup message will be less. Now let's consider another case while RNC sends 6 times RRC connection setup message to UE. So here our RRC connection setup message has reached UE at this point, and now UE replies with RRC connection setup complete message. Because of uplink issue, this message couldn't reach RRC, and after expiring the UE response timer, this RRC counts as failure. Typical case from the trace while we had an issue in uplink, and RNC generates 6 times RRC setup. UE sends only 3 RRC connection requests from UE side, then UE receives RRC connection setup at this point. So the UE no need to send force RRC connection request anymore and begin to send RRC connection setup complete message to RNC. But the uplink has an issue. The RNC cannot receive the complete message and after expiring the UE response timer, RNC sends fraudulent delete request to node B, and this RRC counts as failure. So we have checked several cases and found most of issue on uplink side. Because the RNC can send maximum 8 times RRC connection setup to UE in the downlink, but UE only has one chance to send RRC connection setup complete message to RNC. So the possibility of receiving RRC connection setup in the downlink is higher than RRC connection setup complete message in the uplink. Then most failure may happen on the uplink direction. Here another typical case from the trace while we had an issue in uplink, and our RNC generated 4 times RRC connection setup message. So suggestion for this issue, coverage based adaptive SRB rate or fixed SRB on cell level. So we will consider on the next video how we may solve and optimize this issue.